A social media policy is an internal document that companies use to guide social media interactions by their employees. As Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other platforms become dominant ways of sharing and consuming information, firms have more ways than ever to reach potential customers and shape the identity of their brands. But the reach and speed of social media also carries real risks. Insensitive or poorly conceived posts by employees can do real harm to a company's reputation. Let's take a look at the role of social media policies and what a good one should look like. But before we go any further, we should introduce ourselves. We're eForums, the biggest database of nearly every kind of document that you can imagine. Make sure that you watch to the end of this video, where we'll give you a link to a social media policy for you to create and customize online. First, what do social media policies cover? It's important to distinguish between social media policies and social media strategies. The latter relate to employees within a company whose duties include the use of social media, typically workers in a firm's marketing or promotions division. These workers are responsible for posts and responses on the company's official social media channels or on individual accounts whose content is created at the direction of the company. The instructions they receive are no different from those that an accountant, engineer, or other worker might have to follow in the course of their job. A social media policy, on the other hand, is mostly directed at the online activities of employees who are not spokespersons or brand ambassadors. Policies are necessary because the intimacy of social media has made this distinction increasingly blurry to those outside a company. The fact that a post was made to a personal account or reflects personal opinions rather than official company decisions is unlikely to stem the damage from a harmful post. For better or for worse, employees are always on duty when it comes to social media. Now, what should companies think about when developing a social media policy? There are a number of best practices that good social media policies have in common, such as encouraging restraint and policing disclosure of private or confidential information. But even the best social media policies involve trade-offs. A strict social media policy, for example, is probably more likely to prevent controversy, but could stifle the enhanced engagement that a company's workers can provide with their own networks. For this reason, it's important to think carefully about a company's needs and values when creating a social media policy. One is role. As mentioned, the distinction between official and unofficial accounts is often lost on the general public, but that doesn't mean companies shouldn't try. It should always be clear whether a post is coming from someone paid to create it. Companies should also decide what role they want employees to take in responding to criticism of harmful information about the company that they encounter in private. A company with fewer employees might provide taking points and encourage them to respond, while larger companies might merely want them to pass on the issue to someone specifically focused on social media. Another is reach. How far should the guidelines extend? Should employees be prohibited from speaking out on issues that may provoke intense response, but which are unrelated to the company's business? Private employers generally have wide latitude to set limits on employee speech while on the job. Off-the-job speech can be constrained too, though the extent may depend on the individual employee's contract. Employers should also keep in mind that there are certain issues, like union organizing, that it is illegal to limit in a social media policy. We're eForums, the largest online database of legal forms and documents. Click the link here to get your customizable social media policy, or go to our website to search our thousands of free templates.